Parish orphans and retrogrades. Yo, parish orphans and retrogrades. Happy Friday, first off. First Friday of June. Unfortunately, the topic of this show, this episode of Rules for Retrogrades, is not all that happy. Recently, a major YouTube influencer named Jesse Ridgman and his wife made big splash in internet space and in real life space. Magazines are writing about this story because it was such a big splash by internet, by profiling and logging, vlogging, and covering their eventual abortion. They started out a pregnancy. It's a lifestyle YouTube show. It's got way more subscribers than this channel has. Started out logging the pregnancy, and they're excited, calling the baby a little nugget. And they're obviously a liberal couple. But they got a Down syndrome diagnosis from the pre-screen that you do at about 5 months, 4 to 5 months. And at 5 months, aborted the baby and covered the whole thing publicly. Covered the entire process. Maybe we got bad results. We're going to find them at such and thus time. They got online and looked at the results publicly. The wife is crying publicly. They're always like weird artsy people are always spidering around. They're always crawling. They're always sitting on the floor together. It's odd. Like get a chair, you know?
They're always sitting Indian style.
Indian style, crunchy lefties. And she's doing a cry, and you could see at one point, I think I got this from No Soup for Knowles. She's doing the LeBron James peek, where she's doing these fake cry noises, and she peeks at him, and the camera's still rolling, and they're still live streaming. So it's real weird.
And we got it on the screen
when
right
they
now.
decided to, Steph's going to join today in the flesh on camera. Oh, there she is. Hi, Steph.
Hello.
First stream back, where we see your face, not just your voice. I feel kind of faggy doing this with him because it makes me feel like a lifestyle streamer, having a husband and wife, but I wanted your perspective, and now you're decent again, so you can be seen 6 weeks, almost 6 weeks after the baby was born. And it was a Down syndrome baby that we had, our number 8. So I feel like we're pretty qualified to discuss the impossible decision being bandied about when you find out that your baby is going to be born with Down syndrome or trisomy 21. It's not impossible at all.
No.
But Jesse and his wife kept calling it an impossible decision. And it's really weird. The whole thing's blown up. It's all anyone's talking about on the internet today, because it's like O.J. Simpson killing Nicole, wanting sympathy, as if it's some weird form of Munchausen's by proxy, where you actually kill the person that you're keeping sick. But in this case, it's the aggressor wants the sympathy due to the victim, his victim. They aren't making any doubt about it. They are the ones that ordered the hit, that told the doctor to go and abort. And they were expecting, by vlogging this and by covering it extensively on their YouTube channel, they thought people would be with them, and it wasn't quite the outcome they expected. So we're going to weigh in, because not only do we have a new 8th addition to the family who has Down syndrome, little Adelaide Bede Gordon, But she's our second special needs kid out of 8, which is kind of remarkable. I mean, I was an athletic guy. Steph's always had healthy pregnancies, but this stuff just happens. It's our eldest and our youngest, not both Downs. But I think we're well qualified to talk about the relative difficulty or lack of difficulty provided by this baby. The normie, I guess, assumes it's such a great challenge that it would be better to just murder your kid, deal with hell later, rather than like these very slight setbacks that are provided by having special needs kid or kids. Do we have the video first?
What specific video? Hi, everybody, by the way.
Here's
Hello.
Steph. Yeah.
Let me just start by saying, like, because a lot of people have asked us, our daughter who has Down syndrome is now, how old is Hattie? Six weeks old? She's 6 weeks old. I am, we did not do any of the like amniocentesis that's fake and gay. There was no reason to do that because I didn't care. Really, we did not care like how our child would be born if she lives for 60 years, 15 years, 3 seconds. She's our child and she's welcome and loved. And we were going to be with her regardless of whatever those stupid tests was going to say anyway. And I'd like to also say that many of those tests that they do on the amniocentesis, they get false positives. There's been countless stories. So if you're a pregnant woman right now, you're hearing about all this Down syndrome stuff and you're like, oh, I'm going to rush off and get this amniocentesis. You need to know that there have been thousands and thousands of women who have been told that their child is going to have Down syndrome and they didn't have Down syndrome. So this couple may not even have had, this baby may not even have had Down syndrome, and the conversation's perverse anyway, because as you and I have known, really even before our child, Hattie, was born with Down syndrome, because you and I both worked with Down syndrome kids in high school. We'll get into that a little bit more. These people are functional. They're lovely. They're great. You and I have had lots of experience with Down syndrome people. And a lot of the misconceptions that you see on the internet, particularly people who have been applauding this decision to kill this child or saying, if I were in a similar position, I'd kill this child. You can tell none of them have ever had any sort of experience at all with people with Down syndrome. It's just very obvious. And there's actually a really great, let me put this on the screen. There's a really great Shane Gillis. Do you mind if I play that?
Sure.
Clip about how people, they just have a total misconception of Down syndrome and what it is to have Down syndrome and what these people are actually like. And so I'll just say this, when I gave birth to Hattie, shout out to Dr. Cudahy in Louisiana and Dr. Voltz, who did a fantastic job. Great pro-life OBGYNs who really were wonderful. And we're just so thankful to have them. So if you're a Catholic in that area, check them out. We're not from that area. We actually drove to see them. But when Hattie was born, it was within, I don't know, maybe, what do you say, a couple of minutes, they started suggesting or maybe thinking that she had Down syndrome.
Yeah.
It was not even because of what we've been through with our eldest who has cerebral palsy, and our eldest is quite handicapped. You have to carry her around everywhere. I don't really feel like I mentally or emotionally skipped a beat, honestly. Like I didn't have that moment where, and I'm not disparaging women who, when they find out their child has Down syndrome, that they kind of break down and they're having like emotional, they're having their emotional moment. I did not have that. For me, I was like, because I've had experience with Down syndrome people, and we've had our daughter Abigail, who's had 4 brain surgeries. She's in a wheelchair. She has very specific special needs. For me, Down syndrome's like a walk in the park, So when they were suggesting that, I was kind of like, well, we'll roll with the punches. It's not that big of a deal. But let me show this Shane Gillis clip, because I think
do Shane Gillis, then do Jesse Ridgway or whatever his name is.
Did you want me to do their reaction to the reaction video? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, that one that you were because he's been clapping back at people, snarky replies left and right. That's really kind of the story within the story, is how, aside from just the nescience and the blameworthy ignorance, the nastiness of the kind of people that would do this. But according to No Soup for Knowles, Can't believe I'm agreeing with her. She's saying he has scrubbed all of his nasty trolls and replies, and she's asking people for screenshots, which would be good.
He got bodied. Okay, I'll say
Got
this.
destroyed
On Twitter. This guy thought he was going to go to the internet and say they murdered their child with Down syndrome. And he'd use the I always have a hard time saying the name. Correct me. Trisomy.
Down syndrome.
Yeah, it's called Down syndrome.
He was calling it trisomy 21 because maybe he thought it sounded more serious. I don't know. Who cares?
People are like, this child had Down syndrome. You know what I mean? And of course, we're pro-life in every sense. I don't care if you're raped or whatever happens. Like you just carry the baby and give it away if you don't want it. But I'm never pro-abortion for any circumstance. But people were like, this child had Down syndrome. You know, even people who were on the fence with abortion, they were like, it's not like they had like, you know, encephaly where they don't have the brain or something. Like they had Down syndrome. It's like, are you serious, bro? But here we go. Here's Shane Gillis. This is quite funny.
You can always tell who's never been around it in their lives. You know what I mean? Like if I tell people, if I'm like, yeah, I have family members with Down syndrome, people that have never been around it are always, oh, like Down syndrome is the fucking end of the world. Oh, are they okay? Are they doing okay? It's like, they're doing better than everybody I know. They're the only dudes I know having a good time pretty consistently. Sorry they're not on fucking Adderall and anti-anxiety like the rest of us. They're on fucking Capri Suns. Having a good time. Dude, my Uncle Danny sneaks grilled cheese sandwiches into restaurants just in case they don't serve grilled cheese sandwiches. I don't know where he's getting these fucking things. It's the best. It's the best. You'll be out to dinner with him. You look across the table. You see him sneaking a grilled cheese. Now, yo, where'd you get that cheese, Danny? His dad's with him. He's like, that fucker, he's been making him at night. I know he is. I'm not making him at night, Dad. Then he'll look at you and be like, I'm making him at night.
It's so funny. That's our experience with you know, when we worked with Down syndrome kids. And I'm sure Addie will have her were you joking about she'll just be super into water parks or something.
Water parks.
We'll just have to go visit a couple extra water parks.
But yeah, do we have that video of them?
Oh yeah.
I really want to train our fire on them.
Yeah,
because
train our fire.
And like think about it this way. Think of what a miss this represents on the pro-life movement. And I'm not saying because it's worse to abort a baby that has Down syndrome than it is to abort a regular baby. That's stupid. I'm just saying it's because women are in charge. Emotive, fleeting care women. Mm-hmm. They care more if it's down. Didn't you say something like that? All the women on the internet, even that are moderate or left of center on abortion, they care when it's a Down syndrome kid. That's stupid. And all the women have ruled the roost with regard to the pro-life movement for 30 years. And it's been a complete flaming catastrophe. It has been an absolute disaster. And this kind of shows it. And maybe it's an opportunity to get the broads out of there and to turn it around. It's not that hard. Just you got to criminalize abortion, punish abortion. If we believe abortion's murder, we got to punish the murderers, which are the mothers in the first place. And women are, you know, silly for the most part. 80 to 95% of women are just silly. I remember when Abby Johnson got really mad at me for this, and now she turned her story around on abortion's murder, but there are no murderers. Maybe we can take pause, and because the story's grabbed everyone's attention, these people are so objectionable.
They're hideous.
They're heinous.
Awful monsters.
Trolls.
What's funny is that
we can get literally turn things around. That's what I'm
They don't even understand how monstrous they are.
No.
You know what I mean? This guy also, part of the story was they killed their baby with Down syndrome. I believe she was 6 months pregnant.
I think 5, yeah.
Okay, 5 to 6. And they kept alive their dog who was like kidneyless. And like everyone's like, and they're posting about this and calling their dog a hero, that sort of thing. I mean, they're gay. This couple's the worst. And they don't even understand why everyone hates them. Even people who were pro-abortion were like, who films and monetizes their video like getting their Down syndrome results like it's some sort of gender reveal, which are stupid and gay anyway. I hate those too. But like it's like everybody hates them.
Yeah,
like,
they don't have a lot of friends.
Nobody likes this couple. They're horrible. They're horrible, horrible human beings. And you and I, when we were on our walk today, we were just talking about this. We've been talking about this for 2 days because for us, like Down syndrome is not that big of a deal. We're going to get into later into the show, like some of the things that people say, like, oh, they're going to have to be cared for life. And oh, they have these difficulties. Like human beings don't have that. All like everyone dies. Everyone at some point is going to be infirm if you reach old age or have a disease or maybe get cancer or have a toothache or whatever it is. All human beings need care. It's so stupid. People on the internet are dumb. They're so dumb. Like the arguments that I was seeing them make about kids with Down syndrome, like, oh, you guys are so feeble-minded. But anyway, we were talking about the crisis of femininity and masculinity in this situation. Like, even if the woman was like upset about having a kid with Down syndrome, which, you know, I understand, I can see that, the man should have just been like, this is my child. I am a man. I am called to protect this child and love this child. And you, my wife, are going to get over this. It's going to be fine. We're both going to grow in virtue. And my first job as a man is to protect this child. And they both failed miserably at what they're supposed to be doing, her in her femininity and him in his masculinity. It's just gross, but here they are. So they're responding. Everyone on the internet hated them. They got like completely roasted. People were making all sorts of, you know, memes, and you know how it goes on the internet. Then they released what was it, a tweet, and they were like, we can't believe the hate we got. We're grieving the loss of our child, as if they didn't murder their child. And now they have a video out, and here it is.
With the death threats and everything, it has been shocking. Close people to us, very judgmental, religious based, saying we're going to burn in hell. Mm-hmm. You know, we deserve to die. You know,
I don't deserve to be a mother because of, you know, the decision that we just made.
You don't.
Yeah, we had a gate installed. I have a gun next to my nightstand because it's been getting so ridiculous. And they're coming to emails, DMs, you name it. It's been, we've seen the darkest side of humanity through this process. With the death threats and everything.
The gall, I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to use bad language here, of this heinous bitch to say that she is upset that people say that she doesn't deserve to be a mother. You don't deserve to be a mother. You're not qualified to be a mother. You're not even qualified, frankly, to be a female. Like, women are supposed to be called to be empathetic and nurturing. And we're supposed to be we're supposed to have a lot of virtue of, you know, just the softness and the acceptance and, you know, just all of the beautiful virtues that come through with mothering. She failed on every single one of them when she murdered her child with Down syndrome. Like, no child is safe in this woman's care. If she can't even bring herself to protect, love, nurture, and accept her child with Down syndrome, and that's what she doesn't get. Like, she's retarded. Like, this woman here is the retard in the room. Like, she doesn't get
Did we let the whole video?
Yeah, that was
play?
like 39 seconds.
Okay, yeah, there's a piece of the video. I texted it to you.
Okay, I don't know if
there's a piece of this that I wanted that they say before the piece that played. And I'm also going to text. I mean, one thing I notice when I watch, I don't see it. When I do watch other people's content, that it's hard. It's really difficult as a content maker to remember to do is to lead with the video. So you guys all see it first. So we're not like queering, you know, biasing your thing. And I always want to preface it. It's a natural impulse to want to color your perceptions. But I think with this couple, I don't know why I'm feeling it so strongly. What we need to do is really let everyone see. If you haven't seen, or if you're listening to this, you still get to hear the kind of scope of what's been going on the last couple of days. They're so objectionable, but I'm doing it. I'm leaping into it. I want to just let you hear it.
Will you play that? I'm having a hard time accessing it on the Mac. If you just play the audio that you wanted, this is from the same video, right? That they released.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's with an interview with TMZ.
Gosh,
They're with these TMZ guys. I just wanted. Darn. So there's
while you're doing that, in an earlier tweet, he wrote that they couldn't believe that they are grieving the loss of their child, that people are treating this. And I'm like, you ignorant, like, cuck. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I'm using language like this, but this was infuriating. This couple is the worst. They are the worst people in America. Everyone hates them.
They're really bad.
Like
Okay,
there are people who have legitimately lost their children. They're due to like external forces they couldn't control. And this guy is talking about why they grieve their child. Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
Our journey to starting a family.
I will say it was really difficult to watch both of you just break down for several minutes as you read the test results. Honestly, I felt like it was invasive. Like I shouldn't be watching this pain that this couple is going through like this.
We grappled with that.
We did, but if with
I like how she's cutting them off.
A common thing that happens, and I feel like if you were a fly on the wall with anybody receiving any type of news like this, that we reacted the same as everyone else. We just decided to share it.
We really thought it was going to be good, so that's why we were filming it. People aren't showing this ever because it's so hard, and you open yourself up to the bad. But I feel like the world is almost lacking in that vulnerability with the death threats and everything. It has been shocking. Close people to us.
Because you picked up at that point, and you heard the latter 30 seconds. The hilarious part about this whole story, and it's probably the only hilarious part because it's so sad and truly heartrending, is her saying, when we got our Down syndrome diagnosis, if you had been a fly on the wall with us in the privacy of our own home, I'm guessing that we responded how probably a lot of people would respond. Well, that's really like saying nothing at all. That's hilarious because here's the thing, bitch. No one records themselves having these private moments. It's like saying, I went to the hemorrhoid doctor, and if you'd been a fly on the wall, I'm sure my experience was totally typical. Well, you're really guessing about that, aren't you? You're kind of presuming what you set out to prove, and you're making it extra absurd because people don't film or live stream or record and later upload and premiere their hemorrhoid appointments. They don't do this for a reason, you tacky bitch. That's why that's not done. And also you said equivalently nothing because it's simply, you don't know how other people respond. And I don't want to do this big emotive girl coded thing where we're like extra mad because it's aborting a Down syndrome baby. That's really female coded. But I can honestly say, and I promise this is the only time, 30 seconds we'll talk about it. That's not at all how we responded to having our eighth, like 6 weeks ago. It's really fresh. We're not going to keep bringing it back to us. But we found out, and it was like, whoa. Okay. Then I had to like look into syndrome. I was like, okay, I'm cancer phobe, so I'm afraid of the leukemia. We're going to have to check out the heart. But other than that, like, this is a lot easier. This is going to be a lot easier than what we deal with 17-and-a-half-year-old Abby, the eldest sister, I have to carry everywhere. If we go upstairs, I have to carry her upstairs. I got to carry her to the car. I mean, she's nearly 18. I got to carry her to the
brain
bath.
surgeries.
I got to carry her to every place she goes. Yeah. She doesn't like her wheelchair. So Down syndrome kids are like mild to moderate difficulty. And the point is this stupid thought, they both look like they need to prepare to
Everyone
be
says
on the
they
camera.
look stoned. It's like, yeah, they do.
They look stoned. They're a very ugly couple, and they're not getting the response they planned. But the woman in particular made this hilarious remark that is just not reading the room, because everyone's like, why did you film this in the first place, and B, no, other people don't respond. I mean, I could not fathom a more opposite response to what she assumed was a ubiquitous response than that which I just read in Steph, like not even 6 weeks ago, 5 weeks and 5 days ago. This Sunday, Adelaide turns 6 weeks. And I'm not here you can't say this without sort of lionizing yourself, but I want to give some propers. Like, I was like, oh shit, wow, because I was the one that noticed the Down syndrome.
You noticed
thing
the
with
Down
Hattie,
syndrome, yeah.
Hattie.
Mhm.
But you were kind of like, well, as long as she's going to survive.
You
And
guys were talking about it. I'll tell you how it happened. Do you want to know how we reacted to our child having Down syndrome? I just finished getting a C-section. Apparently, the nurses and some of the doctors in the room, and you, because I didn't, when you're having a C-section, you're laid out. I'm like, it's rough, so I'm not really paying attention. I was like, is she alive? Is she doing well? All that stuff. I'm talking to the doctors, and they're like, yeah, she's doing great. Don't worry. Everything's going fine. Apparently, after she was born, they noticed some things, like in her appearance. That she might have Down syndrome. And so they wheel me to recovery room, and you come in and you're like, can I go see her in the nursery? And I was like, yeah, go ahead. I'm fine. I'm with the nurse. Don't worry. And then you come back in, and then you mentioned, you asked the nurse, you're like, did you guys notice anything about her, like maybe having Down syndrome? And that's the first time I heard it. And it took me.
Yeah, I just thought about it from a picture I took right when I was looking at the picture I took and sent to a few people as I was walking to the nursery. And I was like, I'm a hypochondriac. I imagine thousands of unfulfilled, unrequited troubles on the monthly, thousands probably. And so I'm like, yeah, my epistemic frame is ground zero. It's like, this is probably made up. But I came back and I asked them, and they're like, no, this is a problem. We already tested. And it grew into the whole thing. And that was kind of shocking. And we stayed up all night kind of researching it. But Steph was like, as long as she's going to survive, we know how to deal with this. I was like, yeah, me too. I feel a little floored, and I was tired the next day and kind of bummed. But I got a good night's sleep the second night. And I woke up that third day, I was walking on air. And I've been that way ever since. That was literally, she's born on a Sunday, 6 Sundays ago. By Tuesday morning when I woke up, just because it was the first night I'd had rest in 2 or 3 days, I was like, this is going to be great. I'm not even going to have to carry her everywhere like I do with Ab. And I don't even mind it with Ab.
I'll say this for me. People in my mom was visiting, and to her credit, she kept checking in with me because I have not shed one tear over this. I have been on cloud 9 ever since, because first off, I love babies, and I'm 43. This is probably my last baby. I'm also half Hispanic, so we'll see about that. I'm hoping having babies until I'm 50, but right now I think this is my last baby, our 8th. I have not shed one tear, and I don't say that to disparage women who have. I say this because our eldest has very severe special needs. So we run the gamut of special needs. I'm just thankful she's alive. She's adorable. We got through the C-section, and I've spent lots of time with Down syndrome kids. I understand them. I understand this. So for me, I've just been. I think there was
and
like
in a wholesome Christian way. Like, we fucking like to party. Like, we stay up late with our kids. We get our praying done, our homeschool done. We don't have to do that during summer. We get our chores done. We get our prayer done. We go to church. Sometimes we get to the Latin Mass, depending on. But we're kind of on Miller time, and we're chilling. We're in the pool. We do a little bit of reading time. Every day I was just reading mysteries with Gabe before we came up here. We're going to play some Poppy playtime with the kids afterwards.
We play
We've
video
been watching
games.
Scary movies lately.
We like a lot of Down syndrome things.
maybe we have low-key Down syndrome, but the thing is, like, Steph's making it real clear. Like, our eldest daughter, Abigail, a lot of you guys have been with us for that journey. We didn't log every fucking bit of it, but
so gay.
She had half her brain removed, bro. And that was a miracle. That was miracle rehabilitation. She stopped having 40 seizures a day. That was her life until she was 11. Until she was almost 13, 12 and a half.
Yeah.
That was her life, just dealing with her having 40 seizures a day. And we still kind of like to party that, it's us and our kids out playing basketball, out in the pool, playing video games together, watching movies up till late, less so during the school year when we run this homeschool co-op. But the point is, it sounds like I worked with DS kids when I was a senior in high school, I had a girlfriend who was a freshman in college, and she wanted to do this college program. So they would come to my basketball games. I had a special best buddy. He, gave him my MVP trophy when my team won the championship. Steph worked with him at the high school
for years.
Never thought it would happen to us, but it's like when you're old, like we are, and you get pregnant, it's much more likely than 1 in 1,000.
You see my gray hairs? Yeah. No,
yeah, I mean, yeah. So the point is, we're kind of into Down syndrome shit. We like roller coasters. We try to go to amusement parks twice a summer.
Water parks.
Times. It might go to 5 or 6 times a year because I had a buddy in law school whose brother-in-law was a Down syndrome kid. They would take him all over the country for roller coasters.
I love roller coasters.
WWE. I'm just trying to think of the other shit they like, but we're down for it.
I have never not gone on a roller coaster for the. I mean, if I were to go with like a bunch of Down syndrome kids to a theme park, I would be riding all the roller coasters with them, like over and over and over again.
Well, that goes without saying, yeah.
I doesn't say. I was joking in the hospital because some of the markers of Down syndrome, like the simian line and things like that, I have that, though I don't have Down syndrome. I was just joking, like I might have like low key Downs myself because some of my interests like overlap. But I don't mean to say that like when our reaction again, like I didn't have any midnight of the soul. I have not shed one tear over her Down syndrome diagnosis. I have honestly been on cloud 9. Our whole family is, because it's like babies are amazing and awesome. And we're just so thankful that she's here. I don't mean to say that there's never any sort of like fear or scariness that is part of this. I remember one night in the hospital, I think I was looking up, like certain things I knew about. Heart defects can be a thing with Down syndrome kids. I remember the one thing I looked at that did bring me not like double guessing the value of her life or anything, but I was wondering like, how long do Down syndrome kids live? Turns out that they live a relatively normal lifespan. I think now it's in the 60s. Back in the 80s, it used to be they lived to be like 30s, 20s, 30s. So even that, and
that's the opposite of worrying about, is her life worth living? The only thing that bothered you is she might live till she's only 65.
That's what I said. I was like, oh my God.
You were like, oh no, that's so sad. This kid's gonna rock so hard.
Yeah.
She's rock and roll all night and party every day. That we just, and my thing is always just, I don't want the leukemia. There's the heightened cancer. Blood cancer risk.
He had a nephew that had leukemia. Again, not a Down syndrome kid. All these people on the internet, like, what if they get leukemia? What if they die a natural death? It's like, this is just natural population stuff. Like this stuff happens. The heart thing that she actually does have, her pediatrician said, like it's like 90% of kids who have heart issues have the same thing that she has, and they don't all have Down syndrome, So even this guy's stupid post where he's like listing off all the things, like, oh, they have this and they have that and they have this, that. A lot of those things kids have that don't even have Down syndrome. So, I mean, it was just it was maddening. It was maddening to me.
I think we should tell you what I started realizing is some of our day-to-day is what sets us apart. Because even Jordan, who does our clips, is like, that's amazing. When we did the video, and he knows us, he's hung out with us, he stayed here with his family, but he was like, you guys really didn't skip a beat. I was like, Steph literally skipped no beats. I was like harried at first because I found it, so it felt like a hypochondria thing, but I was like, this isn't that big of a deal. It doesn't change our life because our life is already so narrowly tailored around the family vocation and our kids. And even if I have to speak or go on the road or something, usually they come with me. If not, then I go alone. But the fact of the matter is, we're in the perfect position to make extra accommodations. So I thought with this episode, we could talk about it somewhat and why it sets us apart from suburbs normies. And
because that was the thing,
becomes
right?
a strength. That's what I was going to say. I really want to get to this video of her crying and wailing, though. We could do that afterwards.
Her crying and wailing when she found out she had Down syndrome?
This one to you. You have to see the visual because it's Could you check your?
I can't transfer from your thing to there. I know which one you're talking about. Let me see if I can find
They're
it.
sitting Indian style.
They're
again.
sitting Indian style.
The amazed these people can even
Unbelievable.
reproduce.
I know.
So low
Oh,
T.
here she is. Yeah. Okay. Here we go.
This people have to see.
Yeah. I mean, should I put the volume on this?
Yeah.
Must we listen to the wails of the damned? Okay. Let's see.
Genetic counseling is recommended. Pattern consistent with trisomy 21.
She checks him right here. She looks at him.
Hey.
Okay, this is the first time I'm seeing this. Can I just say something real quick that I'm noticing?
Yeah.
It seems to me that she wants him to say it's okay. Do you get that? She's like looking to him.
I don't know. It's so much.
I don't know. Maybe I'm
I
recreating it.
can't. I don't
You don't
read
think
that.
so?
It's
I
so
almost look like she's looking at him
this
to be like, we're
younger
gonna be fine.
generation is so performative. And if you would put a camera up, it's just, that's not even natural crying.
Mm-hmm.
She's covering her face, but making sure that the camera picks up I can't even judge. I kind of know what you might mean, but
because she looks right at him. It's like, and that's natural for women, I think, to look to because that's the failure. There's so many failures on this, and we'll get to that later. But one of the failures on this is that he immediately should have just been like, babe, it's going to be fine. We're going to get through this as a family. We're going to get through this. We're going to love our child. It's like she immediately looks to him like, tell me that everything's going to be fine. And that's what women do. I do that to you all the time.
of course,
you know?
yeah.
When we found out our child had Down syndrome, you know, I looked to you like, because I knew what I was going to get. And you were just like, everything's going to be fine. She's going to be amazing. We're going to love her. And we're, you know, we're built for this. We already have a special needs kid. Like, that's what you literally said to me. And you kissed me and you kissed Hattie, and we've just been off on our lives ever since. But yeah, I don't know. You didn't get that impression?
Maybe it's too much phoniness.
Yeah.
Like I'm a good judge of character when it's not willful deception. But once you get into all the pure artifice, the pure, more rarefied forms of artifice that we're clearly dealing in, we're just watching this stupid looking couple sitting like, what is it, Colopus monkeys, Indian style, in their fucking socks, like posting a video that's not flattering. Everyone looks and sounds stupid crying. I don't want a video of me at my worst moment. It wasn't my worst moment 6 weeks ago or anywhere near it. But if I bawled like a banshee, I wouldn't hang that shit on the internet. And so once you realize you're dealing with operators who are this odd, because this is really weird.
Can I tell you too?
To vlog this moment, then it's like, I don't know whether that's legit. I don't know whether it's purely fake. I don't know whether it's half fake. I don't know. I can't read her at all.
I can, because I set your show up. So let me tell you how the tech works to even make a video like this, because I do this for Tim. Tim just sits down and I run all the tech. They set up a camera on a tripod and pointed at them, made sure they were in view. This is the type of like weird psychopath like setup that these people are doing for this film. And then there's on most softwares, you have to like press record, and then you have to get like, okay, ready? Are we ready now? It's going. You know, it's like, this is what these psychopaths did. You know, moments before finding out their child has Down syndrome.
Yeah,
it's just, instead of like the way that I found out in the natural setting, after your child is born, they're like, your kid might have Down syndrome, and I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. You know, it's like, that's how you should find out your kid has Down syndrome. It's just after the child is born, not this gay way when you're sitting Indian style, like in your Teva sandals, like making sure you're both in frame. It's so,
well, the baby's still in a mom's uterus, and you're going to decide whether to kill later. I said this in the show that we did on Little Adelaide being a Down syndrome baby. It's making me feel corny because we're not lifestyle influencers, you know, but I'm seeing more, you know, obviously it's much more contrast than comparison, but we did share this recently, which is why it's timely and why this video might be worthwhile for people.
Well, we do
Like,
because we know that most of these kids are aborted. You know?
Yeah, 90%. 90% of the ones that are detected for trisomy 21 in utero, 90%. So I've already said it, but I'll say it one more time. Abandon all hope, ye who enter the United States of America. You thought you lived in this virtuous Christian republic. That's just not what it is. And I don't have patriotism. When you find out that 90% of the people in your neighborhood would kill if they were pressed just a little bit. Mm-hmm. Oh, my kid's gonna look different. That's the main thing that I think a lot of these people don't like. My kid's gonna look different. Voice will be different. Joyful all the time. Like, always in a good mood. Everyone knows this to be the case. There's a Harvard study done on it that proves that it's the case. These kids like how they look 98% of the time. They're like in a good mood. They feel good about who they are 97% of the time. And I forget what the other one is. They think that they're worth loving or something. 99% tested like through the roof. Like Shane Gillis said, depression and anxiety loops are among the normal population through the roof. So you're not going to deal with that. You have some enhanced health risks, but most of these kids do all right. And that's, of course, what we're praying for little Hattie. But if you get really into the nitty gritty, it's they sound different and they look different. And these are people that, by definition, for a living, are getting in frame and setting up their weird poor man's reality TV. And it's not what we would do. No. I mean, we have tons of private stuff that we don't talk about here. I mean, and they're phonies. So of course they care what people think.
And they did a monstrous, horrible, evil thing. And then they put it on the internet. And then they're like, why is everybody coming after us for this? It's like, because you stupid idiots put it on the internet. You did. It's like killing. It's like killing anyone.
Clubbing a baby harp seal on the internet.
Like when Logan Paul was killing like turtles in like Puerto Rico on like a jet ski. It was like sniping them from like the crow's nest. And people were like, you're an asshole. You know what I mean? That's what everyone is saying. I mean, look at this. I thought this was just cute. I'll show this. It's a little cute. Like, so you were speaking about love. I saw this because everybody, of course, was showing pictures of their kids with Down syndrome and what have you after this came out. But this is cute.
I really love you.
It's just super cute.
I really love you.
Thank you, Mom.
You're welcome. Do you know how much I love you?
Just absolutely adorable. I mean, that's just lovely.
You have to be a real asshat to not want someone like that. I'm a man, so I like being depended on. I like when my kids come lay on me. I like when my wife comes lays on me. I like the emblematic actions of being a dad. I mean, we don't do a lot of suburb stuff. You know, we're not going to make a basketball team with all our girls. We don't believe in that. But if we watch a scary movie together and one of the kids needs to wake me up to go to the bathroom because they're scared I like that. So I like the idea of, I like how I'm needed for Abigail, our eldest. I like being needed for Adelaide, our youngest. I like when all of the kids in between, the other sisters and the one brother, ask me, hey, Dad, would you help me with this? It's something I feel like only you can do. Only you can lift Abby. That's how men are carved out by God. And particularly in the infancy months and years, it's just inspiring for me because I'm a night owl. Steph's also a night owl compared to a lot of you, but less so than me. She needs more sleep. And she just, every time I get up, I look over. I wake up a lot at night. I look over. She's just smiling happily, feeding the baby or burping the baby. Baby sleeps right next to the bed. Or, you know, it's just a content little scene. And these Down syndrome kids, they're not more important than the rest of us, but they are nicer than most people. I mean, they're funner and nicer. They look a little bit different, but they're funner and nicer, generally speaking, if they're raised in the proper context, I think have an easier time with holiness because of low IQ, slightly modified lower IQ issues. It's kind of a good combo. Yeah. And people are calling that a cope or a slave morality or something. It's like, no. Look, I'm not saying that this kid's going to be a model or the thinnest or the fittest. We're just saying because of the inherent dignity of human beings, God, the main mark, the main tell of that is the workaround capacity that human beings have that animals don't have. Animals, you make deer cross a couple hundred yards from where they want to cross and they start dying off and stuff. They have no workaround capacity because they have no rational soul, no rational intellect, and there's no mark of dignity. God gave us workarounds, which is largely what like Matthew 18's about. And so it's like, yeah, they're not gonna be supermodels, most of these kids, and they're not gonna be super athletes. They're gonna be fun. They're gonna be happy. They're gonna be loving. And part of that Harvard study. Oh yeah, we should show that guy too.
Yeah, he was amazing.
This guy rocks and rolls, man. This guy made me feel really excited as a dad of a new Down syndrome. Not that guy.
Not the murderous,
not that faggot,
monster.
but the Down syndrome guy giving some sort of testimonial before some senatorial hearing. He cites this Harvard study. This guy's amazing, where he talks about how not only they, but their families are happier than the average, well above the average.
I'll play that too. One of the things that we discussed on our walk today, and we're going to get to like some of the challenges and stuff, that we do have to face and how we get through that. But one of the things that we discussed on the walk for this particular heinous, awful, America's Worst Couple, was that they each deprived each other also of the beauty of seeing the other at their best. And what I mean is that through our sufferings, we've been married 21 years, 8 kids. Our first had severe special needs. Like we had mentioned, Tim's masculinity and his commitment to being a true Christian patriarch for our family was never on more display than through his fathering of our eldest daughter, Abby, for the past 18 years. And now with Addie with Down syndrome, I'm already seeing it with you, your protectiveness. This is what I love about, my husband and just men in general, is that their protectiveness, their ability to just kind of like weed through things and just prioritize. There's been so many fruits and gifts that parenting special needs that I've seen my husband in a new light. And he deprived his wife of that, and she deprived him of seeing her nurturing an innocent, vulnerable child. And that's something that men find attractive and lovely about women, is that our ability to look after those who we feel to be, picked on or vulnerable. And both of them failed on every single aspect of masculinity and femininity in this one move. Like they both just deprived each other of seeing one another excel at the things that they're supposed to excel at. Like I think my mothering with my typically developing children is, pretty good. We check in with the kids frequently. I ask my children often, like, is there anything I can do better? Is there things that I need to improve? But I don't think my mothering with even my typically improved kids is as good as my mothering even with my special needs kids, because I see my ability to extend a lot of my femininity and some of the virtues that God endowed women with. I see it grow even more with my special needs children. And I know you see that, like you just mentioned, like you're seeing me at night, which I appreciate you even saying, like, I'm just so happy with this baby, this Down syndrome baby that we have. She's right here. I am obsessed with this baby. I would like rip my own organs out of my body if she needed them. Like I am so pleased and happy and thankful to God for this soul, for this life that, and I know you feel the same way, that we just see that gratefulness and that love that we each have for her. And it makes me love you more. It makes me love you more. Like this guy did a post and he's like talking about how his wife is a quote badass. He's like, I'm so proud of my wife after she aborted their special needs child. She's such a badass. And I'm like, why is she a badass?
I think it was
what
ostensibly, I was thinking about that during our whole walk. I think it's literally just because she recovered from the abortion surgery. I'm not being sarcastic. I think that's literally all he meant, because she failed all these large tests of femininity. She was weeping like a child over something that's not, it's not death. You know, it's not a death sentence for any of them.
Right.
She's a murderer. And she's clearly very selfish. This is ultimately what's motivating the people, the few folks on Twitter, that the section of society that's defending these people are all saying, look, you know, you can't be expected because you won the reverse lottery to just wait on these people hand and foot for the rest of their life. This justifies killing them. So this is all ick. It's really gross. It's like, what's gross about fat people, not just how they look, but the fact that they can't deny themselves. Just have a few bites and then cut it off. Yeah. End it. Take a dip. Put it in your mouth.
Take a dip and end it.
And end it.
Yeah.
You know, that is it. But there's nothing wrong with dessert. Have 2 bites like a lady, you know, or a guy. If you're going to eat, guys eat more than ladies. Yeah. You know, a wife of a fat man's probably thinking, can't you go lift weights? You know, you eat more than me. You get to eat more. Why don't you go lift weights? So someone not willing to do something difficult is marked by what Aquinas calls effeminacy. It's just an unwillingness to undertake difficult, worthwhile endeavors. And that's what Steph's saying. I wasn't even trying to set up or tee up this point. It's just a fact. I'm really attracted to virtue, and I'm really, you're attracted to somebody that's working hard because it's going to make them more successful and more thin or pretty or whatever, but also because you're attracted to the virtue itself. And there's simply nothing to extol in the wife as heroic, aside from the fact that like her body didn't wither and die after this surgery that wasn't really that traumatic for her in the first place. I know if you listen to Abby Johnson, or who's the other one, Lila, or the new one, Kristen something Hawkins. Mm-hmm. They're gonna say, oh, abortion's so bad for the woman too. No, it's really bad for the baby. You know, the women are gonna survive. They're gonna get through it, even though you're doing all kinds of who knows what up in your business, and it's you're killing a baby up in there. Of course the woman's gonna survive. She's not a hero. And your stupid kidneyless dog, he's not a hero. You know what?
Your
like,
wife
fuck your dog, dude. Fuck your dog.
I know. Thank you. His wife sucks.
No one cares.
Like, he's calling her a badass. It's like, she's the worst woman in America. Like, she sucks. Like, she's the worst person ever. And like, he's saying that she's a badass, and I was like, I was like, for what? For what is she a badass at? She's selfish. She's monstrous. She's a murderer. She has absolutely no empathy she sucks on every single thing that makes women great. That's really what ultimate, like, what makes women great. And every category she sucks at. And the only thing that he says that she's good at is that her body was able to recover. I've had 7 C-sections. I do not take credit for the fact that my body, like, white blood cells rushed to the area where there was a wound, and they did their job. It's like, I'm not doing anything. There's no virtue in me recovering from surgery.
Yeah, none in your will or your intellect doing that. That's God. That's on God.
He's lauding her that her body recovered from an abortion. He's like, she did a fantastic job. Her white blood cells were on point that day. They did exactly what they were supposed to. Her body is recovering. It's like she gets credit for that. You know who gets credit for that? For bodies recovering in general. Like, for my body, when my body recovers from a C-section, I thank God for that, because God designed me in a way that I can recover without getting sepsis and dying. That's not a virtue for me. And this stupid hoe that aborted her child, murdered her disabled child. I'll give her a round of applause because her body is recovering after an abortion. Are you mental? This is the worst couple in America. They are horrible. And they're all over the news, and he's out there saying, "Oh, this week my wife and we've never seen such hate after we're grieving the loss of our child." It's like you guys are the retards. I'm sorry. This couple, they're both retarded.
I think that's what they're talking about. It's got by process of elimination, that's the only thing in a proximate good sense that's gone okay since they decided to murder their unborn. I think what we should do.
You want me to show you the guy? You want me to show the kid that you're talking about?
Oh yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
So here, let's get a plan for the rest of this episode. Want to show you this touching video because it's a necessary declaration of the actual worthiness of a Down syndrome life. I know people watching this are already convinced, but because most of you are also Catholic, Orthodox and Protestants agree with us on this. Christians are pretty much the only one that believe in inherent dignity of human life. And that gets to be a really shop-worn point because we hear even Pope Francis or even Pope Leo XIV make it, and we're like, that's not so cutting edge. If even the moderates and the lefties in the church believe it, what worth does it bear in repeating? Quite a bit. It turns out this Jesse Ridgman story really shows that other people that are not Christians do not believe in the inherent dignity of life. So I've been my ears get attuned to it. You know, you get numb, get used to it. It's valuable. So thanks to Jesus, the Redeemer, all of our lives do have value, even if we're way worse off, like a vegetable. So I want you to hear this kid or man cite the Harvard study. It's really, really touching. Then I'll shout a few things out. Then I just want to walk people through a little bit of a slice of life because people like when we do this. We're not lifestyle streamers, but here's kind of our typical summer day. And how are we living 10 people in the house with two special needs kids to show you how easy and fun it is and how much we just kind of like to party. And
in that segment, I'd like to address specifically the ridiculous claims that a lot of these secular humanists were posting online, like, oh, they're a drain on society. All the medical stuff. I'd like to specifically address that because all of their points are so childish and stupid. And they're so easily dismantled.
Right.
It's like you want to just like grab everybody by the shirt tails and just be like, shout in their face and be like, you're stupid. Everything you just said is dumb. Like, have you ever even been around Down syndrome kids? Like, I'd say 95% of the people that were like shouting off on the internet have never even spent time at all with a Down syndrome person or their family. So here is, what did you say his name was, honey?
I don't know his name, actually. I didn't see it.
Oh, you know what? I bookmarked another clip of his that I thought was cute that you might want to see, but here it is.
Sure.
Life is worth living. We are an unusually powerful source of happiness. A Harvard-based study has discovered that people with Down syndrome, as well as their parents and siblings, are happier than society at large.
Amen, brother.
Surely happiness is worth something. We are giving the world a chance to think about the ethics of choosing which humans get a chance at life. Life is worth living.
Amen,
we are
Were we going to address like what he said about the happiness there, or is that coming later?
Yeah, we'll do it in our day-to-day segment. But did you have the other clip from it?
Let me show you. I found another.
I don't know how you don't see this guy and just want to give him a hug because he's smart also, but he's just, there's something about these people, these Down syndrome guys and gals that are just, it's special. It's a debility, but the workaround for us Christians is remarkable. You just want to hug them. They're the happiest people around.
I agree. Already our little Hattie. It's like I just want to snuggle her all the time. There's something about like the Down syndrome cheeks. Like I just want to like pinch her all the time.
She's doing it nonstop.
I know.
So do all the girls. So do all the sisters. Even Gabe, who's usually busy flipping around our couch, will stop and pat her head. And I've enjoyed having a little newborn. You know, I always like when the kids hit 2, but I've enjoyed the newborn in a way that's kind of unique this time. So
no, they're very huggable. They're very huggable people. God bless them. Okay, here we go. Here he is again. I think this is a longer clip, but I can just play a little bit.
I am a man with Down syndrome, and my life is worth living.
hell yes, it is.
When my body was first forming, when the first 2 cells divided, each of them had one extra chromosome. People like me tend to be a little shorter because our arms and legs are shorter. Our faces are a little bit flatter because our cheekbones and noses don't stick out from our faces as much. All that adds up to a person who is a little bit uncommon. In my case, uncommonly handsome.
These guys, man.
This
Don't
guy,
worry,
the shit.
I am very.
Yeah, he's a good. That's a king right there. That dude. That guy.
It's hard to get kind of not to avoid being slave morality-ish and just accept, but they're so, I mean, you think they're going to be not smart, but then the ones that are smart or make a joke like that, that's just funny. It's something about the way that the delivery works where you're not expecting it and the timing's right. It's like a quiet guy that's really witty. Mm-hmm. And they're just sweet. I don't know. I can't help it. I can't help myself. I'm just an honest guy. I don't like the female coded stuff. I don't think abortion in the case of Down syndrome is worse, or abortion of girls is worse than boys like they do in China. It's just abortion's just murdering your baby, and it's always bad all the time. It's murder by murderers, and these people need to be the death penalty. That's when we'll end abortion, is when we're giving people the death penalty for killing their unborn.
Absolutely. Like the mom too. Can I just say that? The women.
No, the mom
only. Yeah.
The mom only.
Well, the dad too. I think he should
well,
go.
the dads aren't allowed to make the decision whether you're married or not. So,
yeah, you can't tell me that this guy, look at this guy. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be unchristian.
No, look,
here,
if you can demonstrate at law that the dads were on board, that's fine. But remember, the legal status of this in pro-abortion states, where abortion itself is legal, is only the mom can decide. Even if you're married, if you and I were married in a blue state and you had a brain hemorrhage or some problem with, bipolar, and it would never happen, you wanted an abortion, I couldn't do anything about it, whether you're married or unmarried.
Yeah. But it's just a bit much. This guy's like bitching out there about death threats. He's like, I have a right to life. like, bro. Yeah. I know. Like all of us, I'm not saying anybody should be murdered. For the record, I'm not pro-murder anybody, but this guy who just murdered his kid is out there being like, I have dignity and inherent value and a right to life. Like, really? You're gonna go there, bro. You're really going there. Okay.
Also, cool. Who watches Jesse Ridgeman's show? Like 4 million subscribers. Who is watching this stuff? I say this all the time about other Catholic content. Who is watching other Catholic content? It's so bad. It's so boring. It's so low rent. There's no realness to it. The content that's real doesn't tend to be smart. The content that's smart doesn't tend to be real. None of it's edgy. I mean, what are the Catholic shows? There's a few. There's a small handful. I don't think I could count to 5 that are like real that I would sit there and watch. I don't think I could count to 2, but I don't know if I could count to 3 maybe. But who's watching this dude? This boring, ugly couple, very ugly couple. I mean, it sounds like Donald Trump now. Just they're never put together. They look weird. They're sitting like Clopas monkeys, Indian style. It's just odd. I don't even know what their content is. I probably should have researched it more, but I know it's lifestyle stuff. Speaking of lifestyle, anybody who has been yearning to get to a better house, a better life situation. Sometimes you have to move from your city. Sometimes you have to move from your state. Sometimes you have to do it within your very city if you're stuck to your job. If you go to www.realestateforlife.org, a pro-life, pro-Catholic person will help you and work with you to get to a better life situation. And while it sounds a little bit trite, by making a move, if you make the right kind of move, it can change your life and your family's lives significantly for the better. Again, it sounds trite. We're going to actually spend the rest of this episode talking about how adjustments and narrow tailoring to one's life circumstances can go a really, really long way and is not merely a superficial change. If you have major problems with your virtue, then moving from a blue state to a red state is not going to solve that. But if you live in a crime-ridden area like we did, which most blue states are plagued by, most cities are plagued by, then move to a rural red part of the country, and you're going to like it a lot more. Go to www.realestateforlife.org. Also, I want to tell everyone as we approach America's 250th birthday next month, a month from yesterday, to go to Crisis at Sophia Institute Press and buy yourself a copy of Catholic Republic. There, it's especially timely. We're going to be working with this book. I was just talking to my friend Royce White, who was talking to Steve Bannon about this book. We're going to be bringing it back into the public conversation in the upcoming year. So get yourself a copy of Catholic Republic today if you don't already have one.
I put it on the screen.
Cool, thanks.
For you good people.
It's going to be relevant in a handful of ways that I think will be exciting to you as 2026 ends and 2027 begins. Real Estate for Life, Catholic Republic, rules for retrogrades. I'm trying to get all this out here so we can just finish our little lifestyle bit at the end.
Yeah.
Okay. So I don't know. I thought, Steph, you're really good at like resume patterns. I'll be like, what else have I done? I think what a lot of ladies out there want to hear, whether it's their kid has dyslexia or acne, or, they get a peanut allergy or something more serious, anything, any bad health diagnosis, that the way that you make adjustments in your daily life, and sometimes they're big adjustments at the beginning, but you're going to follow them really strictly, enable you to recapture control and fun and comfort and safety in your life in a way that surprising news, particularly the unique kind of surprising news that's encapsulated by health news of your beloved child, often takes. So maybe it doesn't have to be like a day in the life snapshot, but I thought that would be kind of nice. Just what are the adjustments that we've made that have enabled us to have now a second special needs kid without any kind of change? Because the change is something we made going forward when we had Abigail nearly 18 years ago.
I'd say first and foremost, it's lots of time together as a family. So that is something that's very important to us. I think that the thing that is drastic and that's obvious in this entire conversation about the Down syndrome stuff is that in our society right now, we no longer take care of each other. People are putting their elderly parents into retirement homes. Like we have people aborting children that have, moderate disabilities. The divorce rate is really high. Like husbands and wives aren't taking care of each other. Parents aren't taking care of their kids, and kids aren't taking care of their parents. Like nobody feels the need or the duty to take care of each other. And it should be a Christian society. That's what we're called to do. And so from our perspective, and this was one of the critiques online, like, well, who's going to take care of your child, your Down syndrome baby? And they were using language that was even worse than that. But they were like saying, like, who's going to take care of this burden is what they were calling our Down syndrome baby and babies like her. Who's going to take care of this burden when you and I die? And we were like, I'm sorry that you were so mistreated in your life, that you don't have family members to take care of you, but that's the natural order of things. So our children obviously are Hattie's sisters and brother are going to take care of her. And I know a lot of people hear that and they're like, oh, isn't that a burden for your other children? And I'm just like, again, I feel bad for anybody who asked that question, because you and I have our main objective in lives outside of, being really good spouses to each other. I put you first, you put me first, our kids come second, but it's a really close second. They get treated really well, is to give them a phenomenal childhood, an absolutely phenomenal childhood. And we take care of our kids. Like, we put them, we're always thinking of them, and we want to model for them. Like, we are here to take care of you. And that was the other thing with special needs kids. Somebody wrote this, that bring light and love to the family, that our other kids, by having a special needs kid in the family, our other kids see that we love them, not because of their accomplishments or what they look like or what abilities they have. We love them unconditionally, regardless of any of that stuff. And they see that, because that's how we treat all of our typical children. And they see that mainly through how we treat our children that have severe difficulties.
Remember, before Jesus's public ministry begins, before he does anything, the voice from heaven reads, "This is my only begotten son with whom I'm well pleased." A parent, a father, a mother is pleased and is supposed to be pleased with her child, his child, before it does anything worldly to merit affection. Right. It's holy and normal. And what, Steph, you're saying is that the other kids see, well, I don't have to do anything to merit my parents' love. All I have to literally do is be me, and my parents love me unconditionally.
They see that Abby can, she's still in diapers. She's 18. She can't walk. We have to carry, Tim has to carry her everywhere. And they see that we love her for herself, and that they don't need to impress us with acclaim and money and to be anything other than who they are. So that was one of the other things that is a beauty about having special needs kids, that your other kids do feel loved for who they are. Secondly, I was talking about being taken care of, a lot, like I said, we've lost touch with caring for people in our society. As Christians, we're not only called to care for our surrounding family members, like you and I have brought in my grandma when she was needing it. And I wanted my kids to see that. I wanted them to see that, like, we're a family that takes care of each other. And as Christians, we take care of others. And I don't think that it's funny how perverted our society is, that they really do look at taking care of your sister that has Down syndrome, or your elderly relative, or anyone who's aging. I'm saying it doesn't even apply to Down syndrome people. The people who use that argument, like, well, who's going to take care of you when you need care? I'm like, that's all of us. All of us are going to die. All of us are going to age, or many of us will age. Not all of us are lucky enough to age. But if I get cancer tomorrow, my husband's going to have to care for me. We've had family members who've had children that were born perfectly healthy that had developed leukemia. We've had friends whose babies have died in the womb. We've had friends whose babies have died, 2-3 years later. Human beings in general need care
and deserve care
because of the care. Dignity. So this conversation about who's going to care for your Down syndrome kid,
it's nihilism.
It's nihilism. It's absurd.
Who's going to care? Who still draws breath into their lungs, that loves them.
I don't feel bad to say that at all.
And guess what? If we could have taken the Ridgeman baby, we would have in a heartbeat. If we took in literally a girl off the street in Rome who was an American who lost her passport, lived with us for 3 weeks, You know, you take people in. That's what Christians do. And like this, an adorable little Down syndrome baby that no one else will. I mean, like, yeah, give us the baby rather than kill it, man. Any day of the week. And I'm sure a lot of you feel that way too. It's not just us. Christians are that way. Mm-hmm. You don't need the weird structure to your life that a lot of semi-Christians or normie Christians out in the burbs assume. You don't need the bedtime. You don't need overabundance of wealth. You don't need anything but to follow the rules, which is to adore God, keep his commandments. That usually means the sexual stuff.
Yeah.
And obviously no murder. But and then take care of each other. You know, whatever. 7/10 of the commandments are take care of each other. And so I just think, yeah, you kind of, what I was wanting to point out is you kind of cover the floor and the ceiling of childhood development of our 6 not special needs kids by the way that they see us love our eldest and our youngest. At least this is my best assessment, Steph. The floor and the ceiling being, the floor is they see there's an unconditional love for even Ab, who she's a movie critic, right? She's parked there on the couch. She's watching Nemo, Dory. Recently, it's been The Rescuers, like a lot all day long. You know,
she hates baths.
Anyone
who knows us knows that.
She'll come out by the pool and comment on everyone's dives in and stuff. She's kind of just a critic, but she's delightful. She's sweet. She's loving. She loves jokes, and we love her unconditionally, and so do the brothers and sisters. And that's how it'll be with Adelaide too. Though she'll be less physically dependent on people. That's the floor. The kids that know they don't require that degree of care, they're like, oh, well, I'm good. If dad will carry Abby everywhere, then that's pure unconditional love. So you got the floor in place. So the bottom's not going to fall out on your family when you have unconditional love. Now, the ceiling is there's got to be some downward force, some expectation. And that's why I don't feel bad at all when these retards online were trying to say that the secular humanists were saying, well, who's going to care for them when you're gone? I'm like, bro, when I'm gone, I mean, hopefully when I'm gone, my kids will be married and significantly older than I am now. So it's not like we're going to be robbing them of light and life and opportunities at recreation entertainment when they're young, because that's not really what's important anyway. But hopefully this isn't when you know, the twins and Maggie are 20. Hopefully this is when they're 50, 60, 70. If all things go according to plan. If not, we're adaptable. That mark of dignity. So I'm saying the ceiling is that literally they have some expectation on them. They've seen how much we love their sisters and each other and themselves, and they benefit from that. We have a lot of fun every day, as much fun as we can. It's pretty fun around here. There's always something fun going on. And it's out of love. But there are expectations too. You take care of your brother and your sisters.
Yeah, and we talk to them about this a lot. Like we have family meetings about this, about like what we want, what their sisters deserve. Their sisters, everybody. That's not even my children who have special needs, but everyone deserves to be cared for by their family and to be loved in an environment where they're accepted and they're comfortable and they're just taken care of. Like everyone deserves that. And I hope everybody, you know, I wish that more people would take in their elderly relatives or, you know, their own parents that need care. I mean, it's like, that's just how we show love for each other. And we have honest conversations about this with our daughters. We sit them down and we say, you know, well, what are your hesitations, or do you feel like this is a burden upon you? And all of them, because we have a very open communication household, that's one of our big things. All of them have expressed to us, like, we love our sister. Like none of our other 6 kids want their sisters in like a group home or to be alone. And that's the thing that these secular humanists don't understand when they ask that question. They presume that my kids who might have to take care of their disabled sibling don't love and adore their sibling. Like they're like some random stranger on the street that needs a place to stay. Like my children love their siblings, their disabled sisters, and want the best for them as well. Also, I'd say that society has failed. Parents have failed. If you're out there saying, well, I don't want to, these Down syndrome kids are a burden on society, who's going to take care of them afterwards? And your parents have failed you. And I'm sorry for you that you've never experienced the type of love that would naturally induce a response that goes like this. Obviously, I'm going to take care of my disabled brother or sister. If that's not your initial response, then your parents failed you, that you probably didn't have that much love in your life. And I'm sorry for you. But all human beings need care. All human beings.
A lot of folks out there that are within 15 years plus or minus of us were raised by boomers or Gen X, right? Plus or minus. And I'm just going to say it again. This doesn't apply to every baby boomer out there, every Gen X out there, but it was very typical for the offspring of boomers and Gen X to feel like the parents loved the family pet more than they loved their children, brothers and sisters, and they themselves. So it's not shocking quite that basic common Christian sense is so shocking to a lot of the progeny of the last couple generations.
Right.
But like, what, okay, so let's, how can we just, this is no cap. This is no tongue planted in cheek, no exaggeration. Let's just go through what our days are like around here, which I think serves to substantiate, Steph, to justify why and how true it is when you say you could literally articulate, I wasn't worried at all. I just wanted Hattie to be cool, health-wise. We just want to take her home. We get her on our system, and we trust the process, you know, like they do in Philadelphia. So what's our system? How do we trust the process? What do we do like today? So we wake up. Normally, I run this homeschool co-op, which you can join. It's a big part of chilling out your home and having fun.
Not having your kids, your special need kids in public school.
Or any kids. Not having any of your kids in not public school, not just special needs kids. Make special needs kids just any of your kids. And public school, make it any school. If you want to spend a lot of time around each other, which is the secret of our success, our family-like success. People like Tim and Steph with their family, they don't spend a lot of time together. They are there 24/7. We go around, we go, get Chick-fil-A or whatever. We're there. Maybe one or two of the kids will stay back, the older kids, but we're going to watch a movie that night. We're going to pray together. We're going to play some Switch. We're going to watch Great British Bake Off. Yeah, we're going to go in the pool together. So it is nonstop. And other people are like, that's so much. So that's the main thing. And when people don't have all these gay suburban appointments that normies fill their lives with, they piss away their lives with these appointments and all that stuff. When you're not doing that, which starts with the school week, it's really easy. So, and plus I teach homeschool. I teach it to our co-op. If you're interested in joining our co-op, where you could set your kids up with a laptop in your dining room from 9 to 12:30 each day, it's really cozy, and you don't have to worry about the weekend becoming the week, which sucks for everyone else. But we're even more chill than that now that it's summer. So just tell everyone what we do. We wake up.
We usually stay up late. So we're a family of 10 now. It stays up late, watching movies, playing video games. We're typically going to bed around like midnight 1, all of us. Oh my gosh, that's so shocking, right? A lot of people are like, your kids are in bed by 5 o'clock? Like, no, because we like spending time with them.
Well, that's another thing that ruins the whole flow. If you're one of these, because of school and all that, or because of weird Calvinist assumptions about routine, if you put your kids to, I'm not talking your real little kids, but we kind of just let the littler ones fall asleep on mega couch, and they're just with us, and we'll just kind of move them to their beds or whatever later in the night. But okay, so
yeah, by the way, mega couch is a feature in our house. Our couch in our living room can fit like 25 people. Like, I'm not kidding. Like, it is a mega couch and we love it. It's basically like a big bed in our living room because all of us are in there playing video games and watching TV so much and spending time together. But yeah, no, so we stay up late, we watch movies, play video games. Sometimes Tim likes to read to us.
But start us in the morning. So we're getting up later because it's summer, right?
But in the morning, typically I get up first and I'm making everybody a fried egg meal. I like to give everybody a fried, like, eggs in the morning, eggs and toast. So I typically do that. And then the kids are kind of getting up, getting around. Abby, our daughter, who has cerebral palsy, is still in diapers. And again, another way that we teach our kids to care for one another is that some of them have the responsibility to help Abby get cleaned up in the morning if Tim or I aren't going to do that. So
one of the twins does Abby diaper duty. The other one does Abby's hair and teeth. Maggie does her teeth, so everyone's kind of getting up comfortably at whatever time. School starts at 9 a.m. where we've been getting up more like 9:30, 10 since summer. So if it's a nice day, some of the kids will wander outside. We'll have our coffee outside. We'll watch them swimming in the pool, if it's bright at 10 a.m. If not, if it's a cloudy day, we'll get to our 5-mile walk, right? So
that's the other thing, like exercise and keeping yourself trim and healthy when you have special needs kids, because I understand the argument where people are like, well, you've got to, who's going to take care of your kids, your special needs kids after you're gone? That is important to us. Like, ideally, we don't want like our kids having to take on that responsibility
when they're
30. When they're 30, so keeping myself healthy and Tim's keeping himself healthy is important, not just for ourselves and for our marriage and for sexual attraction and things like that, but also for longevity reasons. Because I want to be able to take care of my 2 special needs daughters as long as I'm physically able to do that, and keeping yourself, in good condition is part of that. So
everything we're saying is scalable. That's I guess my greater point. Whether you have special needs kids or not, we are extra devoted to our party lifestyle because of the special needs kids and are kind of living sort of off the grid in our own way, not in like a crunchy, we don't farm our own eggs and stuff, but we're off the grid. I work from home, homeschool the kids from home. We don't even have to go out that often. We live kind of in the forest. We're committed to it because of the special needs, and it makes that set of needs so much more accommodable. But it applies for all of you to try to get off the grid. So just to kind of do your own thing and spend as close to 100% of your time with your family. So it works for special needs kids. We got extra on this path 18 years ago when Abby was born, and we had to come back from Italy.
How short time is with people that you love.
Yeah. But it will scale to your life too. So Steph will make eggs. Everyone will come down. Some of the kids like to drink coffee with me. I'll have a cup of coffee. We're constantly looking out to our pond out back. Is it a nice day? Is it not a nice day? If it's sunny, we'll go out there in the summer.
We'll do our walk typically.
Yeah, we'll get our walk out of the way. We walk 5 miles a day, right? Yeah. And we're kind of just talking the whole time. Sometimes 1 or 2 extra kids will come with us. We always have Hattie. Sometimes Gabe will come, one of the twins. Everyone's talking the whole time. Well, a lot of time we make the kids read a half hour.
Yeah, because that's the thing. We took away no iPads or anything like during the day. I myself, a huge thing. I myself like gave away my cell phone. That's a whole other show. We need to do a whole other show why social media is so horrible for women. It's awful for women.
I think people know though.
No, but I think like specifically, like it's so bad. But
yeah, it's really bad for everyone.
The devices, like the iPads and the computers and the phones are disastrous for people like actually just enjoying one another's time. So none of that during the day. We really try to stay away from that.
There's so it's like you make them an egg, which is just care, It's just care. Like you wake up, people kind of sleep. Some of the kids sleep on mega couch. Some of them sleep up here in the upstairs. Some of them we find have slept on the floor in our room. Maybe this chaos frightens everyone, but it's not because we're all together all the time. We'll come back from our walk. It'll be, 12. You'll make the kids lunch, 12 or 1. Did you get your reading out of the way? Okay, if we have an errand to run or I have to take, Maggie to piano lesson, we'll go do that. And we'll try to go out in the pool then, because the closest time to normal sunny time here in Monsoon, Mississippi is 1. So go outside, go shoot baskets to work, to be able to jump into the cold pool water. We're just out there kind of with the fam. We'll wheel Abby out, or I'll have to carry her out. We'll be outside as much of the day as we can, even just eating lunch on the deck out there, which overlooks the pool. If kids start getting tired or it's too hot, we'll go into a shady part of the deck. I'll like read to them from this Alfred Hitchcock book of stories. That's what we're doing. Stuff like that. And then once it's 3 or 4, I'm like, okay, we've kind of earned it. We can go in, let's play video games together. You'll start putting dinner together. We usually watch a movie. Tonight we got the NBA Finals on. The kids go up and they're playing. We do let them after 5 play on their iPads. They'll play, what's it called?
Poppy Playtime, I guess.
Poppy Playtime. Well, that's on the Switch though. What did they play on Minecraft?
They're answering right now. Roblox
with their cousins, because their cousins are in California. So they have this big community of each other and their cousins. And then we'll eat dinner. And then it's kind of like, okay, come down here and finish out playing on your iPad, and we'll either play video games, read a story, or we'll watch a movie together at night. And people just kind of fall asleep doing it, get up, do it all over again. And of course, during the errands part of the day, that's what varies a lot. We're all just kind of there. And we've gotten some stuff done throughout the day. The dog days this summer, we're just together. Did I miss anything?
No, that's just basically it. Like, I mean, having 2 special needs kids really does not add. This is the other thing on the internet. They're like pretending like people are acting like it's a chaos all the time. It's appointments all the time. It's surgeries all the time. There are phases where there are, Abby has needed brain surgery. So far, Hattie has just, it's basically been not much. She's had a couple of extra doctor's appointments, really not that much at all. Like, it really hasn't been nothing. This is our daughter with Down syndrome. Abigail, our daughter with cerebral palsy, there has been a bit more, surgeries, and we've been through phases like that for sure. But even in those moments, I just want to give encouragement to people who are confronting this issue. Like, oh, my kid might have special needs. Even when we're in the hospital or when we need surgeries or things like that, our family is a cohesive unit. Like I remember last time Abby had a brain surgery, like we still were playing Switch, and we were still making it work, bringing light and love and closeness to our family in that moment. It is not the end of the world. It's crazy that people think that because you have to have extra appointments every now and again, or a human being might need a surgery or, a bit of extra care, that the journey and this time together isn't worth it. Abby could be one of those kids that has to be, on a feeding tube or, things like that. And she, the amount of love and light and brilliance that she brings to our household, she loves life. She just loves to be alive. Just that's the thing. It's with some of these kids that are more severely affected, they just love being alive and given a chance and
having sisters and brother talking to them.
Yeah, have people talking to them. The fact that my daughter, because some people were like, well, it depends on how severe the disability is. It's my more severely disabled daughter just loves to be hugged and to be kissed and loved like that. She does have a more simple mindset, and that really is a blessing because her body isn't able to do as much. You know what I mean? So with her, she does have so many physical limitations that it's a blessing that she is more simple in that way, where she just loves spending time and loves music.
So can you sit with me? She loves music. She loves Nemo. She likes to rewatch certain movies. She'll just ask, hey, would you sit near me on the couch while we do this? Or she loves conversation. You just say, what are the best 3 movies you've seen all week? Yeah. She loves
and that's what you were saying. God gives workarounds. God gives workarounds. If your kid is very severely disabled, like our eldest is, then the workaround is that she's probably going to be the holiest one in the family. She's going to be more pleased with simpler things.
That's key.
That is key. My 13-year-old who's my 15-year-old who's more typically advanced, she's like a typical like developing child. She wants to be in dance, and she wants like certain things, like certain water bottles, and things are getting more complicated with her, who's typically developing. My daughter Abigail, who has cerebral palsy, and she had the left part of her brain removed because of the seizures. She's happy just getting a hug. You know what I mean? So that's the workaround. God always provides the workaround. And that's what I really wish these people that aborted their child knew. Yeah. Yes, your Down syndrome child might have health issues, but the workaround is the amount of love and light that these kids actually do bring. That's not just a thing that people say. Like, these kids Down syndrome kids are fun. They're happy. They're so lovable. They will be all the Down syndrome kids that I've worked with. And, I'm sure our daughter Hattie will be the same way. Their parents, they love them. You know what I mean? They're so appreciative for them to give them life. But your Down syndrome kid is going to be your number one fan. Like if you're a parent of one of them, like, they're just so amazing and lovable. And that's the workaround. Like, not all of us have our difficulties. All of us are going to age and suffer and die. That's all of us. The argument that because there's suffering and you need care, that you need to be snuffed out, that applies to all of us. That's not just Down syndrome kids. That's every single one of us. Some of us will get Alzheimer's. Some of us get really bad cancers. And those medical issues are ALS or things like that. Like, that's way worse than Down syndrome. And this is for just the general population. So I genuinely don't understand the argument that if you are somebody who was born into the world that might need medical care ever, you need to be snuffed out before you're even giving it a chance to live. It's stupid. It's so dumb. And it shows you the small-mindedness and the selfishness of our society, that we can't even fathom being inconvenienced by caring for people we love. It's just unbelievable. And one of the things I am the most proud of in my life is that my kids, they didn't even really have to be asked, like, will you take care of your sisters who have disabilities when we're gone? Hopefully that won't be until my children are in their 50s when they'll have to take care of their siblings. But because we raise a household of love and true just accepting of one another, and we care for each other, and our children have seen Tim and I care for my grandmother or people like off the street or just random people. They see that in us. I'm willing to do that too. The response from my children is, of course,
what am I going to do? Not love my sister?
Yeah. Like, we love our sister. Why would we want our sister in a group home? Or why would we not want to, take care of someone we love? And that's really the takeaway from all of this, is that if you love someone, you take care of them.
Yeah, so basic.
So basic.
It's so ridiculous.
Your kid has Down syndrome, you love them and you take care of them. Your husband gets ALS and dies. We have a friend that they just went through this. You love him and you take care of him. Like, that's called being a decent human being, is that you love and care for people who need love and care.
I think it's just called being a Christian.
Yeah.
I don't think you could be a decent human being and not be a Christian. I'm fully including Protestant. I know I've been poking at them lately. You got to be a believer and a lover of Jesus, at least with the sacrament of baptism, or you just don't get this. Because in the other dirty, grungy countries, with the Hindus and the Buddhists and the Muslims and the Jews, they don't take care of each other, man.
Welcome to this channel if you're new to us. Like, we keep it real over here.
At the very least, you gotta be Christian, and it's the basics. You take care of each other, and then it's insulting. We tried to call a little family meeting last night and be like, kids, we've been talking about this a lot, partly because of this stupid idiot couple that murdered their baby. But, we do these family meetings every once in a while, and the girls are like, well, yeah, of course we're going to take care of them. We're like, well, I know, but we're going to try to provide you with a house or whatever, especially if something happens, we're going to make sure you have everything you need. They're like, yeah, we got it. We're not murderers.
Yeah, like we're not horrible human beings. I mean, my daughters were literally insulted because I do like to check in with them and be like, do you have any hesitations or worries or concerns about taking care of your sisters after we're gone? Like, what are your feelings about that? Like, it's okay to tell me if there's hesitation or, you know, you think it's a drag or whatever it is that it would be. And all of my daughters, you know, and they're like us. They'll tell you exactly how they feel, almost to a fault, like we are. All of them were like, no, we love our sister. Why? Of course we're going to take care of each other. Like, that's what we do. That's what you do when you love somebody. And I'm really sorry for most of these people out there that don't understand that kind of love. And it makes me feel really, really bad for those people. But
we'll pray for this couple, Jesse Ridgeman and his wife, who need to ask God for forgiveness and need the sacraments, that they'll understand what they've done and maybe gain some wisdom and, more than anything, come to contrition, because it's been a wild scene on the internet to watch everybody dogpiling on them, and I think we were too. Some. I don't really care about that. It's fine. You can, you know, anyone can turn it around. Jesus died for everyone. So pray for the little baby that they aborted. Pray for the murderer parents. Pro-life has failed us. Down syndrome kids aren't more important than saving regular kids in utero. It's just they're a lot more fun.
And they're more vulnerable.
They're atypical.
Like
they're more vulnerable.
One of the Down syndrome videos I saw was a Down syndrome little like teenager girl, and what she said was correct. She said the most dangerous place for a Down syndrome to be is in their mother's womb. Yeah. And to me, that is also a scathing critique on the women in our society. Like, we women in society these days suck. We're selfish, self-absorbed. We have absolutely no conception of empathy or compassion or what it takes to be like Our Lady, like the Virgin Mother. Like, the feminine virtues are in an all-time low. And I know that because I'm seeing like women aborting their children that have special needs. Like that's what women should be excelling at, is that we should be the ones sticking up for the vulnerable and, you know, giving the unconditional love and providing that sort of softness and virtue and humility and grace in society and self-sacrifice. Like, you think about some of the greatest women in your life, I guarantee you it's probably a woman who sacrificed a lot for your happiness. And that's one thing that makes women great, is that we're called to sacrifice for the happiness of those around us that we love. And while we're doing that, provide the compassion and the just, I don't know, I'm kind of going off on a tangent, but yeah, it makes me really sad. It's not just sadness for our society because nobody wants to take care of each other, but it's sadness in the state of the feminine virtues, that we just don't have women out there that excel at that. So,
well, nothing's more touching than watching your beloved spouse doing something that she isn't naturally, it doesn't come natural to them, like waking up a bunch of times at night. And it's been really touching having, probably because this is maybe our last go round with the newborn. It's been really touching watching you get up with little Hattie and just care for her all day long. It's been really touching watching our older kids now care for her, worry about her, play with her, pinch her cheeks. And it's c'est la vie, you know, you only get one go round here below. And it's a beautiful life comprised of dignity and sacrifice, sacrament and suffering, joy, fun, you know, boring lulls and scary jolts.
Isn't that just life?
Yeah, that's
for
just
everybody?
life. Yeah. So yeah, it's maybe sharper highs, sharper lows with special needs kids. But, you know, it's a real shame that those people that God placed in the path of a special need kid, specifically his parent, have shirked the responsibility. Pray for all of them on your beads today and tonight, and keep us in your prayers. As always, we'll keep you in our prayers. This show has gone long. This is a little sort of Gordon family update taking the form of this critique of the Ridgeman couple. And you're hearing Hattie doing her nose honking, her patented nose honking. God bless you all. Desmond.